So for problem number 3, we're looking at PBR3. We're going to draw the Lewis structure, list the bonds, add any dipole arrows and charges if needed, and then we're going to actually write the name for it. So we're going to start by figuring out how many electrons that we have. And so in this problem, we have phosphorus, and we have bromine. There's one phosphorus times 5 valence electrons, so that's 5 valence electrons. There are 3 bromines times 7 valence electrons, so that's 21 valence electrons. We add that up, we get 26 valence electrons. So I'm going to start by placing my central atom, which is phosphorus. I'm going to bond bromines to the central atom with a single bond, 2, 4, 6. So that leaves me with 20 valence electrons. So now I'm going to go around and I'm just going to add electrons as pairs until I've used all 20 of them. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And in this instance, I've used all of them. And that looks like a pretty good structure because bromine has 6 dots and 1 dash, so that adds up to 8. And phosphorus has 3 dashes, 2, 4, 6, plus 2 dots, and that adds up to 8. And all of those atoms have 8 valence electrons. So now what we're going to do is we're going to identify the types of bonds that are present. And it looks like there's only really one type of bond. It is the bond between phosphorus and bromine. So we have phosphorus and bromine, and we are going to look for the electronegativity differences to help us identify the type of bond. So looks like phosphorus has an electronegativity of 2.1 and bromine is 2.8. So when we go back to our structure, we're going to put 2.1 and 2.8. 2.8 minus 2.1 looks like it's going to be somewhere around 0.7. So that'll be 0.7. So that tells me that this is going to be a polar covalent bond. And so just like we did up above, we are going to draw the the dipole arrow toward the larger value. And then we are also going to remember that the delta positive is on the smaller value and the delta negative is on the bigger value. So when I go to draw my dipole arrow, I'm going to draw one from phosphorus to bromine on each of the bonds. And then I'm going to go and add the delta negative on all of the bromines and a delta positive on the phosphorus. And then lastly, we're going to name this compound. And because it's a nonmetal, or because it's 2 nonmetals and it's covalent, we are going to use the covalent naming scheme. So we know that with PBr3, there's 1 phosphorus. So we're just going to write phosphorus. And there's 3 bromines, so it's going to be phosphorus tri. And then the root word for bromine is going to be bro. And then we're going to change the INE to IDE, and it becomes phosphorus tribromide. So that is the solution for the second practice problem. So that's the solution for the second practice problem. Hopefully that helps if you had any questions.